started. Okay, we're good because it says stop recording now. So thank you guys for hopping on. And I'm going to start doing Zoom calls from now on. Kelly's been doing them for a while. Corri does them with her team. It's really cool to, see faces, and it's more interactive, and you can do it from your phone. You can do it from your computer, whatever. So Corri Mayo is with us today, and she is, she'll be a coach for 3 years in May. And Corri's awesome. She's lost just under 70 pounds herself, just strictly from Beachbody products. And, I posted her transformation in our group when I was talking about her being on our call. She looks amazing. Her husband, PJ, has actually lost 60 pounds. So, 130 pounds between two people is just absolutely insane. It's awesome. So she is just, every time I think of somebody being proof of the product works and product of the product, I think of Corri. When I first started, I was still a gym rat. I wasn't really doing the workouts religiously. And I just loved seeing Corri's before and afters. And, she had all this stuff that just made her stand out because she really had results from programs. So people really flocked to her. And that's why I think it's so important to focus on having your own stories as well. And it took me a long time to actually be like, okay, I don't need the gym. I can do this. And once I started doing that, it was kind of like a game changer for me. And she's really good at telling her story. She's also very good at, hitting her target market. Mom, she's got 2 little boys and is still working, so she stays busy. So I'm going to let Corri go ahead and tell you a little bit about her story, and then she'll be talking to us today. I just ask that you mute your camera or your audio until the end. It's in the bottom left corner, you can just mute yourself. And then at the end, if you have any questions for Corri, we can go from there. So it's all you, Corri.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm really excited to talk, guys. April was kind enough to spend some time with my team a couple weeks ago. So we're just doing a little bit of switching and interacting with each other's team to kind of share a little bit about us. So as April said, I've been a coach for almost 3 years. Kelly, actually Kevin and my husband played roller hockey together, and that's how I met Kelly. And she slowly planted a little seed. I was a new mom struggling to find the balance in life. Was very overweight at this point, actually my heaviest. And I just kept telling her, I'll lose weight. I lose it really quick when I do it, like all the excuses in the world. So I had finally had enough. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I actually got a burnt copy from a friend instead of going through Kelly initially. So don't ever put those people off because they can turn into something, okay? I borrowed a burnt copy from a friend. My husband and I did P90X. We had incredible results. After 1 round, I think I dropped like 32 pounds and he was about the same. After 2 rounds, I lost about 46 pounds. And I think he was a little bit more in the 50 pound. It didn't take long to get pregnant with number 2 after feeling good about ourselves. And I got pregnant with our second son. And so I kind of slacked off there for a little bit during that time because I wasn't feeling very well. But once he was born, I got right back on track and completed T25. I dabbled in Beast a little bit. I've done a few rounds of the 21-day fix. I've completed Extreme. And I actually weigh less now than I did when I was in high school. And I feel incredible. So I definitely love Beachbody. I love the fact that I live in a small little podunk town. So to get to a gym is like a half an hour, and I have 2 little boys. So I can literally roll out of bed, pull my hair up at 5:30 in the morning and go in our basement and get it done. And it's just really convenient for me. So tonight I wanted to share something with all of you. I actually shared it with my team last night. It's the importance of growing your team. And this is not something that I understood right away. I'm actually, aside from Kevin, one of Kelly's very first coaches. So while Kelly was kind of finding her way through everything and teaching herself because she didn't have an active upline to teach her like you guys have April, and we have Kelly to show us. We didn't have the systems in place. So I wasn't proactive enough at the time or see the value in the business enough to teach myself like Kelly taught herself. So Kelly's been awesome enough to provide us with these awesome tools so that we can all grow and build our businesses. The one thing I didn't understand or get the concept of is the importance of growing your team. I thought it was better for me to take commission on a customer or, continue to get commission on somebody than to sign them as a coach and take personal volume or team volume from that person. I'm like, well, why would I do that when I can make $30 off of that person instead of just taking, the volume? So we're going to attempt this. I think it should be the same as I did yesterday. I'm going to do a screen share, you guys. Okay. So.
Yay. There it is.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, good. Now if we can get it to come. Okay. Okay. So the importance of growing your team. The biggest thing you want to think about is who do you want to work with? Think about the people that you're compatible with. As much as we would like to help everyone, we're not going to mesh with everyone. Everybody has different personalities. So you want to think about the people that you're going to be compatible with. Identifying your target market is really going to help with this. So better identifying who you are and what traits you represent. So something I shared with my team last night is to create a list of the characteristics that not only represent you, but represent who you want or what characteristics you want in your coaches. Because that's going to help you better identify the people that you want to work with. And then who would you like to work with? So the cool thing about this business, you guys, is at first, I know that everybody, when you're first starting out, everybody just wants to sign coaches and build their business and, get people on their legs. But you have the ability to have kind of like an interview process. And if somebody is not a positive person or clashes with your personality, maybe you're more of an emerald and somebody is a sapphire and just totally, goes all out and just totally out there, and your personalities aren't going to totally mesh. So you have the ability to say, through your interview process, or when you're thinking about certain people that you're reaching out to invite or share the coaching opportunity with, whether or not you really want to work with that person. So that kind of brings the whole quality versus quantity. Yes, we want people on our team, but you want to invest your time because your time is very valuable, and you're going to have to invest your time into your coaches when you bring them on board if you want them to be successful in this business. So you want to pick quality over quantity so that the people you are investing your time in is worth your time. So some other things that you can think about when you're trying to create your list of people that you want to approach about coaching is who brings out the fire in you. Who do you look at on a daily basis? It might not be somebody that's into fitness right now. Who do you look at that you find inspiring, that's positive? Maybe somebody that just puts positive stuff on Facebook and looks at the glass half full instead of half empty all the time, because Lord knows there is way too much negativity on Facebook. So finding those people who bring out the fire inside you and who make you smile and make your day better rather than, maybe the opposite. So you guys can unmute yourselves here for a minute. I wanted to ask you, what do you feel are the characteristics that are most important in a successful coach or that make a successful coach? Anybody?
I'm cooking.
Oh, wait.
Consistency. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That's Megan.
Megan?
Yeah, I said consistency.
Yes. Definitely. Consistency. Somebody who's hardworking. Anybody else?
I would say someone that's willing to, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Somebody that's willing to use the tools that you give them. In the past, I've gotten people where I really try hard to say, well, share your journey on Instagram and Facebook. And they say, okay. And then don't do it. And then ask me, why isn't anything happening?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely, being willing to put yourself out there, being teachable, being consistent, willing to work on personal development and grow as a person, hardworking, honest, positive. I mean, those are all attributes that we want in people on our team, so that not only is the team camaraderie good, but everybody's growing. So, definitely making a list of the characteristics, like I said on the first slide, is going to help you to more identify with the people that you want to work with. And are you reaching out to people who are ready to go places? So finding those go-getters, finding the people that are willing to learn, who are willing to make change. Sometimes people just aren't ready, and that's okay. We can follow up with those people, because at some point, pretty much everybody that we are in contact could use Beachbody, whether it's financially, nutrition-wise, just being in a positive environment, or financially. So, there's so many different aspects that we can share with people, but just being able to identify who those people are that are really ready. And if people aren't ready, that's okay. That's when we kind of circle back and come back to those people and talk with them. But don't waste your energy on the people who aren't ready, because if they're not ready, you're going to, even if they do sign on as a coach, you're going to be chasing after them. And that's just going to exhaust you and frustrate you. And it's going to frustrate them too. So finding the people who are ready. Okay, so this is actually a video, but yesterday when I played it for my team, the video didn't come through on the audio so well. So it's getting over the fear. Caleb Thomas, I know that April really liked him. I'll share it for that video. I will share that with April so that she can share it to you guys. But it's just basically his little rendition of getting over the fear of sharing the coaching opportunity with people. And he compares it to jumping out of a plane, which is pretty entertaining. So basically in his video, he's getting over the fear, getting over the fact that, it's like getting on a roller coaster, you guys. Like, you're so afraid to ask the question, have you ever considered? And you're like biting your nails and you're like, what if they say no? Well, if they say no, they say no. But once you do it a couple times, it's no big deal. Then you're just like, oh, it's no big deal to ask this person. It's kind of like the first time you ask somebody about joining a challenge group. It might be a little scary at first because you're putting yourself out there. But after you do it a couple times, it's no big deal. Something that will help you to get over the fear is remembering your purpose, remembering your why, remembering that, and having the belief in the fact that what we're sharing with people is an amazing opportunity. This isn't something that we should feel like we're bothering people. Is it really bothering people to share a healthier, happier life with people? I mean, we can help people in so many different ways that, just remember the fact that you're sharing an amazing opportunity with people. You're not bothering them with the opportunity. The word no is just a word. I'm still told no. I'm sure April's still told no. I know that Kelly is still told no. Meg Kozlowski, I think is how you pronounce her married name. It was Wazinski, who's an ultimate diamond. She still gets told no, and she still gets stood up on phone calls when she has follow-up calls with coaches. So don't think it's just you. It happens to all of us, and some people just aren't ready. So don't let the word no scare you. And something else to think about is, if you never ask, you never have the opportunity to be told no. But you also would never have the opportunity to be told yes. So don't be afraid of the no. If you never ask, it'll always be a no. If you take that leap of faith and you ask, it could be a 50-50 chance, yes or no. And practice equals progress. The more you do it, the better you get. The more you invite people and you talk with people, the better your voice gets, the more comfortable you get with it. So just like when you're doing workouts, the more you do them, the more comfortable you get with the routine and the stronger you get. Okay, so who do I invite? Number one, your spouse or significant other for sure. There's a slide a little bit later and I will show you why that is very important. But definitely getting your spouse or significant other on board as soon as possible is vital to building a very successful business and being able to take some benefits later on down the road. Your challengers, people who stand out in your challenge group, who are rock stars and are killing it and posting every day, engaging with other people, and just really being that positive role model, already doing what we're doing, reaching out to them. Keeping a list of the people that you do reach out to and following up with that person or those people. Kelly Christine actually just shared in Team Tubby to Toned that she had reached out to a girl who she thought would be a rock star. She was told no. And so she kind of put it on the back burner and was like, oh, I don't want to bother her. I don't want to bombard her with it. And that girl actually ended up signing with another team underneath another girl. So even though she said no and it wasn't her time right then, it doesn't mean no forever. It just means no, not right now. So make sure you follow up with those people occasionally. Actually, another girl that's on my team who is fairly inconsistent when it comes to working the business has a superstar in one of our challenge groups. And that superstar has reached out to myself as well as one of the other coaches on our team who's in that group. And I basically just told her, like, you need to follow up with her because if you don't talk to her about it, other girls on our team aren't going to take that person from her. But if she happens to talk to another coach or another coach sees what she's posting on her Facebook and reach out to her, she's going to swoop her up. So you just have to remember that when they say no, it just means no right now, not right now, and follow up with that person so that that doesn't happen to you. Finding the people who inspire you, the people that you want to work with. We kind of talked about that. But going through, Janelle Summers shared this at a Super Saturday event recently, that going through your contact list and highlighting or circling the people who you admire or who you would want to work with in this business. They don't have to be into health and fitness. They don't have to be healthy and fit already. And they don't have to be super overweight. It's just the people that you admire something in their personality and you're compatible with them. And those are the people that you would want on your team because they would give a good vibe to your team. A specific example of this was Janelle Summers had a girl in her Turbo Kit class that would come every week to her classes. She was fairly overweight and had a long way to go. But this girl kept showing up week after week after week. And she actually even started bringing people with her. And while she was still a long ways away from her goal, she was inspiring people because she was being consistent and she was making changes for herself. So Janelle approached her and she's one of her coaches. So just keeping that mindset that it doesn't have to be somebody that's in the health and fitness. It can absolutely be somebody who just has an awesome personality and can go out there and talk with people. And then another person would be discount coaches. So our customers who are continually on Shakeology or they're constantly buying challenge packs and upgrading to new programs every time they come out, sharing the opportunity to save for those people. And a lot of times discount coaches will convert into working the business at some point. Okay, so how do I invite a person? You want to start with edifying the person and sharing the characteristics that you feel inspire you or would inspire others. So like if you have that person in a challenge group who's just a total rock star, I message that person and just tell them like how incredible they're doing in the group, how everybody in the group really looks forward to seeing their posts and how they engage and motivate the other people to keep going and things like that. The characteristics, I mean, I obviously wouldn't say, oh, so I see that you're doing this, this, and this in the group, so I think you'd be a great coach. Probably not so much, but at least identifying the characteristics that, that you find admirable in that person. And then I would ask them, have you ever considered doing what I do? Or have you ever considered doing what I do as a health and fitness coach? when you word it with, have you ever considered, it just kind of takes it down a notch and it's not quite so pushy. It's just, have you ever considered it? It's a more of an indirect approach. And then after they say yes or no, if they say no, but I would like more information, use a third-party tool. I can't stress that enough. When I first started, I never used a third-party tool, and I blew it every time because I talked too much. We can be really passionate about this and verbally vomit on people when it comes to talking about it. So I know a lot of coaches use the 7-minute intro to Beachbody. I personally use one of Kelly's What is Coaching calls from one of the Thursday nights when she would host that, that actually she features my story in it. So because I'm sharing it with people, I want people to know a little bit more about me. So I share that. It's like a 35-minute video. And then I think this is on the next slide. Always be sure to set up a follow-up call to talk with this person on the phone. I know it's scary, but get on the phone before you send them the video, because if they're not willing to commit to a phone call with you, they're not going to commit to the business, and you're just sharing and wasting your time. So keep control of the situation by making sure you get a phone call set up before you actually share that video. And then use the 6 closing questions. I'm sure April has these and shares them. We both went through some training in October and used these. So if you haven't heard them before, it's, what did you like best about what you saw? That is awesome. So-and-so, I felt the same exact way. So you use feel, thought, found, or feel, felt, found here. The second question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being ready to sign up right now, where do you see yourself? Number 3, if you were to get started with us on a part-time basis, how much would you need to earn for it to be worth your time? And then approximately how many hours per week would you commit to developing that kind of income? So typically a person's going to say, $300 to $500 a month and a week off the bat. Okay, so great. How many months would you be willing to commit 7 to 10 hours a week to developing $300 to $500 a month? And then, again, the typical answer is 3 to 6 months is the average. So then you just plug that in back to them. So if I could show you how you could earn $300 to $500 working 7 to 10 hours a week over the next 6 months, would you be ready to get started right now? So at this point, if they're ready to get started right now, I will walk them right through the process of getting started. I know that some coaches will actually send a link. I personally have not had any success by doing that. The people put it off. They don't think that it's, they just don't have any, there's no importance to it. So if they can't, like, let's say they're driving or something in the follow-up call and they just absolutely cannot order over the phone right then, I will just say, okay, when will you have the opportunity to be at a computer where we can talk about this? And then I set up a follow-up call from there. So I always do it on the phone. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this, but I think it's important to visually see things sometimes. So can you see my cursor moving on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously we just have a coach here. We have an active coach. And then to be emerald, you have to have an active coach on either leg. Then to be ruby, we need to have an active emerald on each leg, as well as 2 additional active coaches. And then to be active diamond, we need to be the same thing as ruby. So 2 emeralds, or an emerald on either side, and then 3 active coaches. So a total of 4 coaches on each leg. This is where it's important for your spouse. Okay, so these are your personally sponsored coaches. Think about each. So this person already has at least 2 people because they're emerald, and this person has at least 2 people. And then these guys are emerald, so they're just single coaches. Think about the volume that all of these coaches are generating on your team. If you decide not to sign your spouse or significant other until down here, they're losing out on all of this here, all this team volume. So just for example, my husband is an emerald at this point. and he is on my right leg. He is one of my first coaches. So he's here, and he gets to generate not only from all of my team volume on this leg, but he also has Kelly. We have Kelly's strong leg and Kelly's second business center on this side. So oodles and oodles and oodles of team volume are being generated under here. If I wouldn't have signed him up until later, he wouldn't be cycling nearly as much because we waited to sign him up. So I know some people aren't ready to get on board right away with that, but it is very beneficial for you down the road, especially for residual income. How are we doing on time, April? I'll check my phone.
It's 6:25.
Okay, cool. So I only have, I think, 2 more slides, and then we can do some questions.
Perfect.
Okay, so why should I build my team? So the team volume cycle bonuses, it's basically free money to generate those cycles. The residual income, if you really want this to be a significant income and be able to retire like April has, you are not going to be able to do that on commission alone. You're going to have to hustle hard forever to make that kind of an income on only commission. So it's just creating a lasting income, a residual income versus monthly commission. And then you have the ability to help more people, because obviously a team of 10 people are going to be able to go out and touch so many more lives than if I just personally was going out and trying to do it myself. So the ability to help more people and make a bigger impact for sure. At the bottom here, you'll see a coach's income. So in May of 2011, her retail commission was like $30, and she had a fast start bonus for $20. So her check for that week was $50. Exactly a year later, she has grown her team pretty substantially because her commission is less than $200, but her team cycle bonus is $1,300. So that gave her a check of $1,600. And that was just, the majority of that, $1,300 of that was from her rock stars underneath her, helping other people. Exactly a year from that date, her retail commission, again, is $30. So much like we saw in the first week, the initial one. But her team cycle bonus is $3,400. Who wouldn't like $3,400? That's amazing. So, what's that say?
We have 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, so it just kind of gives you an idea. There's one more picture here, and then we can do questions. So same thing. First paycheck for this girl on commission was $83. Her first paycheck as an Emerald was almost $400, with 42 of that being from team cycle bonuses. Her first paycheck as a Diamond, her commission was almost $550, but her team cycle bonus was an additional $126. And then her paycheck as a coach for 1 full year is $370 for commission, and team cycle bonus is almost $500, totaling almost $1,200. So it just really, I feel it's important to share this with newer coaches or coaches that haven't visually seen these things before, because it took me over a year to really grasp this concept. So I can only imagine how much further I would be in my business today had I understood this a year earlier. If I would have known that right out the gate, how I could have grown my team and how that would have benefited me in the long run. So I hope that helps you guys a little bit. Let me stop the share here.
Okay.
And you guys, if you have any questions, I know we don't have much time, so.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much. I took lots of notes. That was good stuff and very helpful, pertinent information from them. So if you guys do have questions for Corri, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask away anything. And don't be shy.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Matter.
And it doesn't have to be pertaining to this. Like if you have a question about something else, that's fine too.
I have a question.
Okay.
April said be dirty, so I really had to wear this because I haven't showered in like 2 days. I am so dirty.
I was saying, be
Um,
dirty. I was like, paid if you are dirty.
Well, I was. And so instead of taking a shower, I'm on this call. Um,
Priorities.
Welcome. Right? Okay, so something that I did differently this week, and I just kind of want to get someone else's take on it because, well, I do. I want to know if it's smart or meh. So obviously I'm running my husband's account.
Mhm.
And I have, I'm trying to build him to diamond. So I'm kind of splitting coaches just because I don't want to give him all of my coaches,
Okay.
especially if I feel like they might be gold ships. I want those directly under me. But I have been giving him all of my clients last week because he's on my weak leg. And my strong leg, I signed up as a discount coach like 5 months after April started. So I have a lot.
Yeah.
Underneath me, I have over 120 coaches in my organization or something crazy like that. So I have a lot of volume on my strong leg. So Mark is on my weak leg. So I've been once I get myself to SE10, of course, then I've been putting them on Mark to help my team cycling bonuses, because he's on my weak leg. And I started recruiting 9 weeks ago.
Okay, we have 4 minutes, Melissa.
Okay, so is that a smart thing to do, to put it on him until my team really starts growing to help my cycling bonus, or should I just be putting all those people under me?
No, I do. That's what I do too, especially if he's on your weak leg, because that's going to help you to generate. And because you're diamond now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to help you with your elite status down the road, because you're generating, one of your coaches is generating Success Club points, which is going to help you big time. So as soon as you reach your goal for the month, I would push them all to, I push all mine to PJ too. 3 of my 4 coaches this month are on him because I'm trying to push him to diamond too. So I think that's smart. He's more stable where he's at, like him to diamond, and you have him at a stable diamond, then I would just go back to building you and just let him stay at diamond. I mean, I don't know if that's what April is doing or if that's her advice too, but I mean, my goal is to get him to diamond and make sure he stays stable and those coaches thrive, and then just build the heck out of my team, because I'm very stable where I'm at. I'm just trying to grow some diamonds underneath me at this point.
I saw something that Kelly had said in a webinar that if you're putting them under your spouse, you're getting an extra $18. Well, that's only true for every 3 clients, because it's only 35 under Mark. So for every 3 clients, I get a cycling bonus of $18, or 3 coaches or whatever. So every 3 people I put under Mark, I get $18. So it's actually only like $6 a person. So that I didn't. Yeah, that was my question. Like for now, yes, and then down the road, it's probably not so much worth that $6 a client or coach.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, like right now, that Matt is pretty stable of a diamond, and I added a coach to him for the first time in a long time because he had just 5 active on one leg, and I like to have 6 just so I don't have to worry about it. So, I usually keep the coaches for myself because Matt is on my strong leg, unfortunately. So I don't want to be adding more coaches to Matt. So when I'm trying, depending on what you're doing, but for me right now, that when Matt's stable, I'm putting customers for him. But in the beginning, I was focusing more on, a challenge pack. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to put my coach to Matt. And, you just kind of have to, balance them out that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. PJ's on my strong leg as well. So, just getting him built is, I guess, priority, and then moving back to myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just make a point to at least get your spouse or significant other, Success Club 5, because that's going to help your elite status too, and then just then go back to you depending on if you're building for coaches or, but if you're getting them Success Club, that's the biggest thing. And then if you want to build coaches further, then yeah, that's fine.
I was going to say that was a big takeaway from this was the spouse placement. That's kind of been a weighing factor. Some of my coaches are like, oh, I don't want to do it right away if I don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that I immediately just message them, like, whole process.
Yeah.
Do it immediately. If you have one coach, do your spouse immediately, which I was kind of like, I don't know. So that was really helpful. So thank you.
Yeah.
They have to push, just like for some people it's a financial problem. You know, if they're just starting, they're not making enough to supply both to have enough volume. So they can always push a sale through their husband account just to keep them active. But you want to get them on board as soon as possible so that you can take full advantage down the road. And Lindsay Matway actually has a really good YouTube video. It's like 7 minutes long on which leg you should place your spouse.
But she goes with strong leg.
Well, she explains both.
Okay.
She has a video where she explains both. There's benefits to both. Like PJ's on my strong leg, and we seriously have like 54,000 volume points on our strong leg because Kelly's coaches go underneath us, and then her second business center are underneath us. So that's like generating crazy amounts of volume. But if you put them on your weak leg, then you have more control. Like Melissa was saying, you have more control of generating more volume on your weak leg when you maybe don't have strong coaches on that side. So there's definitely benefits to both sides. But if your husband, if you don't really want to work his business as much and you want to get him kind of like to diamond and let him ride there, I would put him on your strong leg, because then you're going to generate more team volume underneath that person without having to work quite as hard.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, so we have less than a minute, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm glad that we got to get in there, and thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. And I'll share the recording with you so you can share it with your team too. And
awesome.
Yay, keep on being awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, girls. And I'll share that video with you so that you can see that Caleb Thomas one too.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.